Hello, and welcome to episode number 404 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be the first Raw of Season 8, the first Raw since SummerSlam, the first Raw since the new goals have been in, all that stuff. You know, it's finally time to kick off the new season, a season I'm still really excited for. And yeah, we're like a day removed from SummerSlam. We're on the last week of August. It's October in real life, so I'm going to try my best to get as far caught up as I can. But that's not important one. What is that we're back here in August week 4. We're just back from Tokyo. Drew McIntyre is the new WWE champion. Sasha Banks is still the Raw Women's champion. We have the same Raw Tag Team champions at AJ Styles and Finn Balor. Sheamus is still the Intercontinental champion. And we've had a shake-up. So, like I said before, I was going to do a thing where, I'm actually going to do the proper ECW brands. I may have put them up on the community page by this point, but if not, I will at some point. There's been a shake-up of the brands, but, not properly. I think the only person who's jumped between, SmackDown and Raw is Santos Escobar's gone over to Raw to be a part of the rest of LA Extreme. And, obviously, the Bianca Belair and Montez Ford switch to SmackDown is going to be compromised with a switch of a man and woman the other way. But other than that, it was just people from Raw and SmackDown going over to BCW to fill the roster out. So if there's people missing from this show that you felt should be on Raw, there's a good chance that's where they are. But again, you may have already seen the post on community page or whatever. Anywho, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into tonight's show. We kick off with the new WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, coming to the ring. And he says, "So, I know what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about SummerSlam. I want to talk about how, since he came back to WWE last year, all anybody wants to talk about is Cody and Cody's story, you know. He went on to WrestleMania and he won. He finished the story. He did it for his dad. And all that stuff, all that touching stuff that really does tug on the old heartstrings. But now, who ended that, Cody, huh? The same person who you stole your story from to begin with, he's the man who brought an end to it all. It all came crashing down under my boot in Tokyo, Japan. And now Cody Rhodes, they'll always forever in the history book say, yeah, Cody finished his story. He did what Drew McIntyre did before him. But Drew McIntyre got the last laugh because he's the one who ended up taking that championship from him and bringing him back to where he belongs. Obscurity. Because, Cody, who are you without the championship? We're yet to really find out, but I know who I am without the championship. I was the franchise player of this damn show without this belt. And now I've got this belt. I'm the champion as well as the franchise player. I'm the number one. And nobody can touch me. Certainly not you, Nightmare. Out comes Cody. Crowd still going, whoa, but he's less enthusiastic. And he just gets into the ring and he just goes, I only have 2 words I want to say to you, Drew McIntyre. Rematch. Big pop. Tonight. Bigger pop. And Drew just sort of looks like, yeah, I think I'm going to have to pass on that one, actually, big dog. Listen, I understand you're a little beat up and your heart's in the right place. But, come on. I'm doing you a favor by not accepting this challenge because this is your last shot. You've got this rematch in the bag, Cody. You don't want to waste it. Because if you waste it, you're done. Okay, so I'll be the bigger man here, and I'll keep your credibility and your career on the right track by turning this challenge down. Because trust me, it's not because of you, and not because I'm scared of you, Cody. I know I can beat you. I proved that at SummerSlam. It's not because I don't want to wrestle here in front of the AT&T Center, which, quite frankly, I don't, but that's not why. It's what I'm doing is for your own well-being, Cody. You're welcome. Out come Finn and AJ, and they stand by Cody's side. And they're like, whoa, Cody's got friends. Cody's got friends, huh? See, these are the same friends that I abandoned, when I was being your little friend, buddy for all those months to get close to this championship. I knew these two weren't a threat. Adam Cole, he was a threat. These two were never a threat to this championship. So, you can bring as many of your little buddies as you want, and it ain't gonna change a damn thing, Cody. And then AJ goes, well, you talk a big game. How about you find two friends, and we'll have ourselves a 6-man tag team main event tonight. Andrew just laughs. He goes, I don't have any friends here on Raw. So me finding two friends can be a bit of a tough ask, but I'm sure I could find two people who are willing to kick your ass. I'm sure that won't be a difficult ask. You're on, boys. So there's our main event. It'll be the new WWE Champion Drew McIntyre teaming with two other people to face off with Cody Rhodes, Finn Balor, and AJ Styles in a 6-man tag team match. We then cut to Batista's office. He's chilling there. And Becky walks in. She's like all defeated. And Batista goes, well? And she goes, And he goes, well? She goes, yeah, I told you so, Becky. Like, you weren't cleared to compete, and now look what's happened. Okay? You gave Rhea the most dominant win of her career at SummerSlam because you weren't prepared. Becky goes, it's Rhea taking cheap shots against me, If I had a one-on-one singles rematch with Rhea Ripley, I'd put her down. I'd finally shut her up for you, Dave, okay? You know that to be the case. And Batista goes, well, Becky, last time you were here was over a year ago, and you lost to Rhea Ripley twice, and now you've come back, you've promised that you're better than ever, and you've lost to Rhea Ripley again. Maybe you came back a bit too soon. Maybe you're not quite ready to get back to the spots that you left behind. Becky goes, well, I'm ready to fight tonight. I'll prove you wrong tonight. I'll fight tonight. Batista goes, after SummerSlam? No. Bex, come on. I like you. Okay, like, you're a top star of our women's division from a Royal Rumble winner, WrestleMania main eventer, but I don't think you're I don't think you're ready. I think you've come back too soon. You got embarrassed by Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. That was your first match in over a year. Maybe you're not that girl anymore. Maybe you're not the man anymore. Maybe, time's passed you by and this year you've been away, and maybe you've got to, prove your worth. Maybe if you don't cut your weight, next time budget cuts come around, your name might be on that list. Becky goes, are you kidding me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I screwed up once. I wasn't cleared to compete. It's my bad. Put me in a match tonight and I'll prove it. And Batista goes, oh, you are in a match tonight, Becky. And she's like, great, who's my opponent? And he goes, I don't know, ask Brandy. He goes, why would Brandy? Why did I ask Brandy? You're the general manager. Batista goes, well, I wasn't really impressed by you, as I've said many, many times already in this conversation, Bex. So, if you want to get back on Raw, you've got to prove that you deserve to be back on Raw. So, they're going to start you back out from the very bottom, and we're going to see whereabouts you fall in this division. She goes, what? She goes, well, we're going to treat you like we treat everybody else here that's just come new around. Like, if that was any other woman who got squashed by Rhea Ripley, we'd start them at the bottom of the food chain. So that's where you are right now, Becky. You've got to prove it, and if you're going to wrestle tonight, you're going to be in the opening match of Heat, and you can go from there, pick up wins, and then we'll see where we'll adjust your progress accordingly. She's like, this is bloody ridiculous. Like, I whatever, you know what? Put me in against whoever. Find some random woman from the crowd. If that's the very bottom I've got to start at, Dave, your loss. And she storms out, and Batista goes, well, better safe than sorry. Sorry, Bex. 90. First match of the new season gets a 90. It's an Intercontinental Championship match. Sheamus defends against Big Bronson Reed. And he does retain. In 1453, they have a big fight. Sheamus wins with the bro kick to make defense number 7 of the IC title. 89 for Sheamus and an 85 for Bronson Reed. And yeah, big win for Shamo. He retained his championship against Randy Orton and Dudley in a triple threat at SummerSlam. Dudley is now over on ECW, so he won't be here tonight, but, Bronson Reed stood in. After the match, Bronson Reed and Sheamus, they shake hands. Ricochet's obviously there, because he's Bronson Reed's tag team partner. When LA Extremes, Jorge Santana, Dominic Mysterio, Santos Escobar and Roosh jump them. Ridge is also in the ring because he's Sheamus's right-hand man. That's why I said him. And then the 4 of them beat up the 4. big men. It's a bit of a size discrepancy because there's 3 big men and Ricochet, well, against 4 like smaller guys. But whatever, we make do. They've all got weapons. Roosh is Roosh, so it's fine. And yeah, LA Extreme are here on Raw. They've disposed of the LWO. They've all had to go their separate ways. And now they've laid out Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and the Cyclone here tonight. We then see Tanya Breeze. She's backstage. She goes, ladies and gentlemen, like I said last night at SummerSlam, things are only going to be picking up for the Maximum Male Models here on Raw. Because, it's time to expand our ranks. Pretty Deadly, that's one thing, but having me and Pretty Deadly, that doesn't really make an entire modeling agency. We need our next prize player, our next top model, you could say. So we're going to judge who on the Raw roster has that look that the Maximum Male Models are looking for. And she sits down in the middle of Pretty Deadly, like, oh yes, let's begin. And the first person who walks in is Luke Gallows. I imagine this is the sort of role that he'd be great at. Say what you want about the Good Brothers, but they are funny people. So, like, Gallows would walk in, he'd have, like, sunglasses, he'd have done his beard up, like, nice, he'd be wearing a suit, he'd go, hey, my name's some sort of penis innuendo. And he's like, and I think I've got what it takes to be the next top model around here. And everyone goes, oh, good heavens, he's bald. And Kit goes, yeah, that's not really the model look we're looking for here, Tanya. Verdict. And she goes, it's okay. I give it about a 5 out of 10. Next. And Gallows walks off. Then in walks R-Truth. And he starts rapping. He goes, people over there, what's up? You feel me? Stand up and say, what's up? And then she goes, stop. What are you doing? He goes, I'm auditioning. And she goes, well, okay, so why do you think you could be the next great member of Maximum Male Models, Truth? And he takes his glasses off. He goes, the Maximum what? She goes, the Maximum Male Models, the thing you're auditioning to be a part of. And he goes, this ain't the Titus World Records audition room. And Elton Prince goes, no, this isn't the bloody Titus World Records audition room. And he goes, oh. And the Kid goes, and you're already in that group. And Truth goes, I am? Oh, sorry, this is... my bad. And he walks out. And Tony goes, 1 out of 10. Then in walks Big Body Harvey. And he goes, hey, I'm Big Body Harvey. And I've got all the tools to be the next top male model here in WWE, here on Raw. You see, I've got the big body regime. All my big body ornaments are ready to go. And I've got all the goods to make you big body. And Elton goes, this guy's okay. Tony goes, okay, he's the best we've seen so far, but we've still got one more left. And then in walks Otis. Slicked back hair, sunglasses, suit jacket with no shirt on. Brooks is walking in with his J-Flow shirt and simp hat on. And he goes, you can knock it out of the park, buddy. And he walks in, he goes, oh yeah. And she goes, oh. And who is you? And he goes, I'm Otis. I thought I'd just stop by and just, see what's going on in here. And then Ellen Prince's like, oh, well, we've seen enough. Goodbye, you big ogre. And then he goes, oh, Otis walks off all sad. And then Ellen and Kit put 0 out of 10. No, boy. And Antonia stands up, mouth agape, and goes, he's perfect. And they go, excuse me? He goes, boys, we've found our next male model. We then cut backstage. Kathy Kelly's with Zelena Vega. Imagine she's probably still wearing the LWO shirt, just, as a homage, but the group is dead. She goes, at SummerSlam, the boys didn't really pull through for you, and you saw the LWO come to an end as LA Extreme continues on. So what are your thoughts going forward here on Raw by yourself, Zelena? She goes, obviously, my time under the learning tree of someone like Rey Mysterio is going to be something I'm going to treasure for the rest of my life, but, part of me feels relieved that I can go and be myself and prove to the world just how good I can be when I'm not, Rey Mysterio's girl. And it's sort of a whole new era here on Raw. It's a sort of a whole new Zelena Vega, an era of Zelena Vega you've never seen before in your life. Then we just hear sarcastic clapping. Bravo! Great speech, girl. Great speech. Okay, but, when you were tagging around with Rey and Andrade and all those people, you know, you were a good addition to that act. But if you want to come and join this stacked women's division, you know, girls like Rhea Ripley, girls like Sasha Banks, girls like, well, me, you're gonna get eaten alive, Zelena, because you can't compete with people like us. You know, I'm sure Bianca may have gone over to SmackDown, but, you know, there's plenty of hungry women on this roster who are chomping at the bit to take that spot, like Ariana here and Ava. And Zelena goes, okay, yeah, fair enough. Like, I may not be at your level right now, but, you know, if I keep working my ass off and keep trying my hardest to get up there, maybe I will eventually be at your level, Charlotte. And you say that Ariana and Ava, they're trying to get to the same spot I'm in. Let's see who deserves that spot more. How about tonight? I'll take on Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, points at Ariana Grace and goes, and then we'll see who deserves that spot more, okay, Charlotte? And Charlotte goes, oh, you're on, bitch. And then she goes, great, see her out there. Ariana Grace, Selena Vega, later on tonight. 76, speaking of hungry women who are looking to take those spots, we get a tag team match, Tatum and Ivy, fresh off dropping their women's tag team championships, get a quick rebound win over Skylar and Aaliyah. Tatum pins Aaliyah with a Paxplex in 850. 65 for Tatum. No, 68 for Tatum, 65 for Ivy, 66 for Aaliyah, and a 76 for Skylar. That's really good. But yes, big win for the former women's tag team champions. After the match, they take to the mic and they go, you know, I thought Alexa was behind us, but, you know, she's now proven to be a four on our side once again, taking our championships. But don't worry, because we've beaten Alexa before. We sent one evil dictator version of Alexa Bliss packing. We can send another one packing as well, because, you know, beneath all the smoke and mirrors and all that bull crap, she's the same girl that we beat before. And then we hear giggling from on the screen, and Alexa swinging on the swings, and Nikki's there playing with the belts. He goes, oh, you two, you're always as adorable as ever, because you see, you seem to think that we're the same. You know, you girls, you may be the same, but are you starting to regret the way you treated me now? This doesn't end with us taking your championships. This ends when you're out of here. And under our new guidance, our new tree, we're creating an army. And we're going to take over not just the women's tag team division, but the entire WWE. And then we see someone else walk in and take a seat between Alexa and Nikki. It's Mr. Joe Gacy. And he goes, and that is just the way the world works, girls. And that is the way you're going to have to accept that reality has decided this will all go. He clicks his fingers and the screen goes off. Then see Johnny Gargano in his locker room, just sitting down, headphones on, just not really talking. Ciampa walks in, he sort of bangs on the locker to get his attention. He goes, Johnny, he goes, look. I said, I'm sorry, man, I screwed up. He goes, don't forget about it, it's fine. We all make mistakes, Johnny. I'm not going to hold over your head because, you know, you got a bit carried away at SummerSlam. But we can see this as a learning experience. You see, Candice, your own wife, told you to do things your way. And we nearly had those championships. So now, with your mind clear on the championships and your mind clear on what needs to be done, Johnny, next time we get a shot of those championships, we're taking them home. Because, you know, I'm of the belief that, you know, you go through highs and lows in your career and in life. And the reason why you're struggling right now is because you're Johnny freaking wrestling and you're not a champion, and you need to be a champion because in your heart, you know there's a heart of a champion inside you, and the fact that you're not a champion is driving you insane. Well, you use that energy. You go out there and you put on the best damn show you can put on every time DIY goes out there, and eventually, one day, me and you are going to get another shot of those championships, whether it be AJ Styles and Finn Balor, or the Cyclone, or any other tag team here on Raw, and we will get the job done. Because we don't quit. We take those hits, we get up, and we keep on marching forward. Because that's what DIY is all about. And he just walks off, and Johnny Gargano's all fired up now. You know, he's been going through a rough patch recently, but Ciampa's got him all gassed now. Out comes Christian. A new Christian. You know, he's coming out to the waterproof blonde version of his theme because I feel like that one's a lot more, like, fitting for the version of the character that he's going to become. And he just walks to the ring. He takes in the booze. He's wearing a jacket and a turtleneck. All that jazz. And he goes, you know, it's been 48 hours and all I've heard is the same thing. Why, Christian? Why? Why did you betray Edge at SummerSlam? Why did you hit Edge low below the belt at SummerSlam? Well, quite frankly, I don't owe any of you idiots here in Texas an explanation for why I did what I did, but I feel like I do owe one to a man who I spent 25 years calling my best friend, a man who I've once called my own brother. That's Adam. Now, for many years, I've been Edge's best friend. But for a lot longer, I've just been Edge's friend. Okay, you guys look at me and you see Edge's friend. Oh, there's Christian. Where's Edge? Okay, what's Edge doing, you know? Christian's back. When's Edge gonna come back with him? All stuff like that, okay? Well, I'm more than just Edge's friend, both metaphorically and literally, because even in life, I was Edge's friend, but I had to be a lot more than that for him to make him where he is today. Because, ladies and gentlemen, did you know Edge never had a father? Edge never met his father. He never had a father figure in his life. He had a mom. His mom died. So now I've had to still be his guiding light, his father figure in his life, because I guess his dad was too embarrassed to have him as a son. And now, I've just told him that, you know, you took those things for granted. You've been a piece of shit for too long, and now I've put you down, and now it's my time. Okay? Because I'm here to just kick my career on without Edge. Because I don't need Edge to make as much money as I need to make in this business, because I'm the star. Out comes Rey Mysterio with Carlito by his side, you know. Former LWO member, but I guess he's still with Rey now. And Rey goes, Christian, like, what the hell, man, you know? You mentioned all these people who were asking you for the last 2 days. Why? Like, I'm one of them, you know. Me and Edge and you, we go way back, you know. I thought I knew you guys. I thought we were friends. But to see you become this, like, what the hell's gotten into you, man? What the hell? Christian just laughs. He goes, oh, you look who it is. Look, you mention terrible father figures. It's sort of like a bat signal for Rey Mysterio. You see, if you want to talk about terrible father figures, Rey, look in the mirror. Because, you know, you've got your own son, Dominic, who's eclipsed you in every single way here in the WWE, but you're still hanging on to your glory days because you're letting your son hang around in the wrong crowd. And then you failed once again as a father once your actual flesh and blood son had betrayed you. You formed the LWO. You took another thing that belongs to Eddie Guerrero and made it your own and started parading it around as your own. And even that didn't work out because you are a terrible father and a terrible role model, Rey Mysterio, and a terrible friend. Okay? And he points at Carly and he goes, and if we're talking about terrible fathers, don't even get me started on his. And he goes, hey, you watch your mouth. He goes, no, I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm not here to cause trouble. You're the two that came out here to pick a fight with me. Okay? Now, Rey, you talk a lot of crap for someone who, is too loyal to a piece of shit like Edge to see clearly. Because Dom's tried to tell you this, and now I've tried to tell you this, but Rey, you're just a has-been past its prime. And don't you worry. Justice is coming to you, Rey. But I'm not going to deliver it for you. Out comes Dijak. We then get a singles match, Dijak taking on Rey Mysterio. Gets a 79. Goes 11:46. Dijak pins Rey with a Feast Your Eyes. He gets a 74. Rey gets a 68. Christian did some good work at ringside. And then after the match, he orders Dijak to pick Rey up and hit him with another Feast Your Eyes. Carlito tries to get in. Christian low blows him, hits him with a kill switch. Dijak lays Feast Your Eyes on Rey again. And then Christian pats Dijak on the back and goes, come on, let's get out of the ring. So yes, Christian, what a scumbag. He's gonna be a treat to book this next season. Anyway, we cut from that to Sasha Banks, the Women's World Champion, walking down the hallway. And, she's fresh of a win, triple threat against against Charlotte and Kyrie at SummerSlam. And she bumps into Rhea Ripley. And she goes, look at you. Still the champ, huh? Keep it warm. And just walks off. And Sasha just stares at her as she walks away. And just a bit of a tense exchange. Wonder where that's heading. Speaking of champions, we then cut to the anime room. Dio, Manny, Saray, Carland all setting up, a celebration party. You got anime-themed cake, there's balloons. Carland's probably blowing up the balloons. Manny's probably getting all stressed out, trying to sort it out. And Dio goes, Manny, relax. Okay, what's the stress? Because Sensei's going to be here soon. Sensei's bringing the championship. We've got a champion in our ranks here, Dio. I've still got the lingering thing about the pendant in the back of my head. And now I've got to make this party, okay? We've got to make this party perfect because it's for a champion. And Dio goes, shush, it's fine. Sensei's going to come here. Probably just going to want to watch anime and chill out for the rest of the night. You're taking this far too seriously. You're taking it far too seriously, man. And the door opens. And Sensei walks in with the Cruiserweight Championship, holding up in the air, big pop, party poppers, balloons, and all sorts of shit. Go, yeah, we've got a champion in our midst. Okay, finally. This is the first arc of our career is now officially over because we have a Cruiserweight champion in the room with us today. And now, 3 cheers for the new champion. Hip hip. I said hip hip. And the door knocks. And it's Reggie. Reggie walks in. And he goes, am I late? Manny goes, late? You're if anything, you're extremely early. Well, what are you doing here? What do you want? Who invited you? And she goes, look, I may have been a bit of a head case recently when I had that championship, but I wanted the championship. But seeing you guys and your friendship and Sensei taking that championship really made me see the light. And you unmasked me, you showed my face to the world, so there's no point hiding it anymore. I want to better myself. And I guess what I'm asking is that you forgive me. And you let me be one of your friends. And Dio and myself just look at each other and go, I mean, part of life And part of, any good show is forgiveness and a redemption arc. So, Reggie, we'll give you a trial. We'll let you attempt your redemption arc. And if we mesh, if we get on with you, we're all about forgiveness here. Carland, he used to be a right edgy little boy. But now he's one of us. There's no reason you can't be as well. And Reggie goes, great, well, first things first, I have to come clean about something. Because it's really going to be of use to you guys. And Mandy goes, well, what is it? And you also crowd around Reggie. And Reggie just shuts the door. Imagine, the camera is, looking in, and then Reggie shuts the door. That's when the camera, cuts off. So that's how we end the scene. Reggie, I guess, trying to become a member of the anime crew. We'll see where that goes. 73. Zelena Vega beats Ariana Grace with a cutter in 7:35. She gets a 77. Ariana gets a 49. Lack of psychology, apparently. That's fine. But yeah, Zelena Vega here on Raw. Singles run. No LWO by her side, but she has picked up the win in her first singles match against Ariana Grace. And then after the match, she's celebrating her win when the crowd sort of goes, oh, because someone just jumped over the barricade or jumped into the ring. And Zelena turns around and she's laid out by Bayley. And Bayley just laughs at Zelena on the floor. And then everyone's like, what the fuck's going on? Referee's like, get out of here, Bayley, get out of here. And Bayley just laughs and goes, franchise player, huh? Bianca thought she was a franchise player, huh? If anyone can trade her. You can trade for anybody over on SmackDown. Or ding dong, who do you think he's gonna pick? Okay? So, Zelena, you think you're rising to the top of this women's division? Good luck. 'Cause you're looking at its newest member. And he just slams the mic down, starts laughing at Zelena on the floor. She walks in the back. So yeah, Bayley, fresh off a triple threat defeat in that Damage Control triple threat at SummerSlam, is now a member of the Raw roster, which does mean that the 3 members of Damage Control are officially, done, because they are all now on separate brands, with Bayley being on Raw, Dakota still being on SmackDown, and Cora is on ECW now, so yeah. Thanks for the memories, I guess. Leave the memories alone. But Bayley, I believe for the first time in this entire series, all 404 episodes, is a member of Raw. I think she's been on SmackDown since the episode 1, and I've never drafted her away from SmackDown. So this is a fresh face for this division, fresh scenery for Bayley. Yeah, we'll see where that goes. It felt like the right move to make. We then see Otis and Brooks. Brooks is with J-Flow, and then Otis walks up. He goes, hey boys, how'd you get on, Otis? And he goes, I don't know. I think I failed. And then Brooks goes, well, that sucks, buddy. I really thought you were going to do it. Now listen here, I'm going to have to dip. And Otis goes, what? Because you see, J-Flow have got a performance down the road. They're playing a small little arena here in Texas. And I was definitely, I have to be there, okay? I can't miss it. They're going to play a new song, and it's going to be a hit. And Otis goes, well, what about me? Now he goes, screw you. And then Brooks walks off with the rest of J-Flow. And Otis goes, he just sits down all sad. And then we just see a hand touch his shoulder. And then Maxine, who's Maxine? Tonya, kneels down in his ear and is like, we're doing callbacks. And curly fingers him away. And of course Otis follows because he's Otis. We then got the first segment of the House of Black. The House of Black was such a funny pun. I can't remember who left it, but it was such a good pun that I had to do it. Aleister Black sitting down, and he's explaining, the life story and the origins of the House of Black. The first is what I've called Chapter 1, The Birth of a Demon, which is him, because he's an edgy boy, you see, and he refers to himself as a demon. And about his terrible fucking childhood. How his father would probably be an abusive father or some shit like that. And his mom would do all that kind of weird shit. So he had to basically grow up by himself. And that's when he found, spooky dooky bullshit. And that spooky dooky bullshit, led him down the path that he came down later on in life. But now we're getting ahead of ourselves, because this is about the beginning of the life of Aleister Black. And chapter 1 is just the first of 4 chapters that make me the man that I am today, and make me the man that you fear. And once you know my story, my career, my path will be so much more terrifying for everybody in it. And then Brody King just walks up to the camera and he turns the camera off after giving like a growl or some shit. So yeah, we now know Aleister Black, the House of Black. Childhood shit led him down a dark path. Basically, TLDR. And then we see what's going to happen next week. Where did his moody teenage years take this man? Blair. Mid as fuck, actually. Humberto and Cameron Grimes have a match. Goes 10-32. Humberto wins the moonsault. I wanted to make sure he's still an important part of the show after the Path of the Dragon split. Zergus is on ECW. And Humberto gets the win over Cameron Grimes. He's got the injury, and they don't click at all. So the match does not do very well. But, oh well, Humberto gets a win. Reminding us that he's still a god. We then see AJ Lee sign a dark room. She's just watching the end of her SummerSlam match on, like, a loop. I imagine, like, she sees Roxy hit the move on AJ, get the 1-2-3, and then she, like, keeps rewinding it to that point and playing it again. She goes, well done, Roxy. You win this round. It's not often that a fly escapes a trap before it can be devoured. But rest assured, that championship is still mine. And when I come back for that championship, I hope it's still around your waist. Because taking it from anybody else wouldn't be anywhere near as sweet as once again embarrassing you for my championship, thinking you know me. You may have known the old me, but you don't know me now, Roxy. Take care of my championship, which it will be mine again. Then cut from that to a clip of the match as like a little video package of that match, and then Jade Cargill's debut after it, and her laying out Roxy Perez, which is when we do get the announcement after that segment that we will be hosting the 2023 Mae Young Classic. It will begin with a special event this Sunday. The tournament will be, I think it's 2 groups of 8, so 16 women, 2 groups of 8 G1 style across like a couple of episodes of Heat and like the odd sprinkled in Mae Young Classic live event. So yeah, so we get the 7 weeks of group matches. Actually, I think the way it is laid out, it is, it will start this Sunday of an event. It will be Group A and Group B on that. And then next week's Heat will be Group A's matches. And then the week after that episode of Heat will be Group B's matches. And then we loop it like that. So there's a Sunday event with both groups on. Then 2 Heats. And then that Sunday will be another group with both on. So yeah. I don't know how many weeks that will be, but that is how I plan to lay out the tournament. I'll go over it more on the actual Mae Young Classic show, but it's starting this Sunday with a special network special on Sunday, and we only know one person who's in it so far, and that's Jade Cargill. It's going to be primarily either like NXT people or outside signings who I'm borrowing for the tournament. And then the winner of the whole thing gets a Liberty Championship match. A belt which is still held by Roxy Perez because she defeats Mandy Rose in 10:46 to make defense number 1 of the Liberty Championship. 70... Wait, they didn't click? Got a 67 and 65, and they still got a 79. Fucking hell, okay. Chillax, girls. But yeah, Roxy does retain. 67 for her, 65 for Mandy. And yeah, obviously I wasn't taking the belt off her. She just got it back. And after the match, she kicks her mic. Oh, Roxy's fucking good. Okay. She takes the mic and she goes, Jade Cargill. Well done, okay. You saw the opportunity to make your big grand debut at the biggest party of the summer, and you took it, and you laid me out. I'm not mad. But I will be mad if you don't win this Mae Young Classic. If you don't get yourself a shot at this Liberty Championship, because you're coming in the glitz and the glam. I know you may be undefeated everywhere else you go, but I will snap that streak if you dare come near me and my championship again. So yes, next week we have a couple of matches announced for next week's episode of Raw, including this big 8-man tag team match after the attack earlier on tonight. It will be Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Ricochet and Bronson Reed taking on LA Extreme's Dominic Mysterio, Jorge Santana, Rush and Santos Escobar in 8-man tag team action. That should be a big one. And for the first time all series. Actually, no, that might not be true because she might have had a match on Raw when she was the tag team champion. But her first time all series as a member of the Raw roster, Bayley will have a Raw match taking on Selena Vega, who she laid out earlier on tonight, and following the, very, very ranty, disgusting rant from Christian Cage earlier on tonight, he will go one-on-one with Carlito on next week's episode of Raw. Main event time. Cody, AJ and Finn come out for the match. Out comes Drew by himself. And then as he's halfway down the ring, Imperium's music hits. Gunter comes out with them, but he just stands on the ramp and just points to the ring and orders Vinci and Kaiser to go and help Drew. They don't come out together. I want to make it be known that they're not with Drew. But clearly Gunter has got his other motives for sending Vinci and Kaiser out here tonight. I wonder what they could be. And an 86 rated match. It is Drew McIntyre and Vinci and Kaiser of Imperium who pick up the win in the main event when Ludwig Kaiser pins AJ Styles. One half of the tag team champions. Let's just call him that. 87 for Cody Rhodes, 88 for Finn Balor, 82 for AJ, 83 for Giovanni Vinci, 78 for Ludwig Kaiser, and 90 for Drew McIntyre. Yes, and so ends the post-SummerSlam episode of Raw, the first Raw of Season 8, and it gets us 91. We take that. Yes. And yeah, we have Heat coming up next, which, as we heard earlier on tonight, will feature Becky Lynch, because, Batista's made her start from the very bottom here on the totem pole. So, let's see how high she can work her way up. The show kicks off with... I've just set this to be an angle. It made more sense for this to be an angle in my mind. Some random-ass woman named Martha Trigg is stood in the ring as the show starts. Becky's music hits. She storms to the ring, angrily, throws her jacket on the floor as she's storming down the ramp. Slides into the ring, storms straight over to Martha Trigg. The bell rings, and she immediately just hits the manhandle slam and pins her 1, 2, 3. And after the match, takes the mic and goes, "What, Brandy, get your ass out here." Brandy comes onto the ramp. She goes, "Becky, good job, you won your first match here on Heat." She goes, "Don't you good job me. Come on, this is bullshit, okay? What, who the hell is this? I lost one match. I overestimated myself, my bad. But, I'm the goddamn man. I've made it at WrestleMania twice. And I've got to fight people like this in the first match of Heat, because apparently I'm at the bottom of the totem pole." Brandy goes, "Becky, I know, but I'm only the Heat general manager, Me and RJ City, we're the same person. We can't punch up to the Raw and SmackDown general managers, We've got to direct orders from them. And if Batista says that you've got to start from the bottom here on Heat and work your way up to the top, well, I can't disobey those orders, It may suck, but, if it's so easy for you, Becky, to just keep winning, and then eventually you'll get back up to the top where you belong." Becky goes, yeah, whatever. Just storms through the crowd. We then get a tag team match. Double Trouble pick up a win over DKE. Anne-Marie submits Hams with the Queen Slayer. 67 for Kelsey, 72 for Anne-Marie Porter, 61 for Morgan, and a 65 for Hams. Yeah, pretty fine tag team match here, considering those ratings. Yeah, I wanted to give these two a win because I know AJ lost, so I don't want to just fall to the wayside. Which is part of the reason why I was debating having AJ win, but I did the Jade Cargill debut instead, so it's fine. We then see Alicia Sanford is with Next Gen. And she's looking nervous because it's Next Gen and they're all trying to attack people, really. And Kathy Cool goes, Alicia, relax. It's okay. We're not here to hurt you. In fact, we've got great news for the women of Collision. Collision? Heat. Well, it turns out after months of, victimizing everybody, beating down women of the past and the present, we finally have somebody around here with some common sense. That being Paul Heyman. Because after months of us being overlooked for Raw and SmackDown, he's finally offered all 5 of us contracts to be a part of the ECW brand. So, while Heat is still our domain and we will still be here and we'll still be overlooking, and if anybody steps out of line, we'll still put them in their place, but Heat will no longer be the exclusive home of Next Gen. Okay? We've won. We've graduated our way out of Heat to be going up to ECW now, Alicia. See if Becky can do the same. So he'll just walk off. So yeah, finally, the Next Gen girls have been given actual contracts to be a part of ECW's women's division, rather than just exclusively on Heat. So, that's a sigh of relief for everybody on this show, at least. 59 rated match. Tiffany Stratton picks up a win over Violet Mator. Her PME in 9:38. They both get 53s and the match gets a 59. So yeah, the match overdid its, expectations based on in-ring performances, which we take. And a 72 rated main event. I didn't expect the match to get in the blues or anything because Mako's pop's terrible. But I had a lot of time to kill because the first match was that segment with Becky. So I just gave these two 20 minutes, Lyra Valkyria and Mako. And they did good. They didn't embarrass themselves, basically. Lyra got a 70, 57 for Mako, and it is Lyra who wins. 19-29 with a guillotine. They probably shake hands after the match. And yeah, I do believe both these women are on ECW. I can't remember if I did send Lyra and Killer Kelly over there. I believe I did. I have to check the rosters. But I believe they are both on ECW. And yeah, that does end Heat. The first Heat of Season 8 gets a 71. Or might as well as what you thought of Raw. And I guess if you thought Heat was very good. There is now an overarching Heat story with Becky, so Heat will be, important to watch because, what next woman up on the totem pole is Becky going to wrestle next week? I have to wait and find out. But until then, next time we have got ECW, the first ECW of Season 8. See you then. Oh, by the way, I just remember this right now. I believe, at least for as of right now, as you probably noticed on this episode of Raw, I am going to go forward with Raw and SmackDown at 3 hours and ECW at 2. I just like the flow of ECW better. It feels different. I think the rosters are the same size, but ECW is going to have more of an AEW vibe to it, to where you're not going to see everybody on every single week. And that doesn't mean I'm not using them, but you sub in people for certain matches and shit. That's the sort of vibe I want to give ECW. So while the rosters may be the same size, I don't really see it as a big deal if I don't have everybody on every single week. Whereas Raw and SmackDown will probably feature most of their roster because, their roster's taking a little bit of hit in terms of size because I've spread it out across 3. So, yeah, everybody on Raw, most people on Raw we will see every week. But then ECW, you might not. But, yeah, that's by design. Anyway, see you then.